Welcome back to the Quintillion Institute. We've got a neat little clip for you today. Sometimes the best rediscoveries aren't that new at all, and that's exactly what we're dealing with this time. That is, the word meiosis is already in regular circulation in the modern sciences. But of course in biology, meiosis is a word about cells that is easily confused with the word mitosis, and those words are not words about words. Now, meiosis comes from a Greek word meaning to lessen, and not only will that help you to remember what the word means, but it might also help you to tell it apart from the word mitosis as well. Anyhow, the ancient rhetorical word meiosis refers to a kind of understatement, and we've talked about a different type of understatement before, but meiosis is perhaps a little more straightforward. It refers to the process of downplaying or lessening something by referring to it by a diminishing or belittling name. But it shows up in common usage all the time. Travelers who have a habit of flying over the Atlantic Ocean may call it crossing the pond, and obviously pond would be an understatement. Or you may have heard somebody who receives a serious wound calling it only a scratch. Of course, it can be used in other more inventive ways too. You can use it for modesty's sake. Maybe you're passionate about taking photographs and you actually make more money taking and selling those photographs than you do at your full-time job. It would be a classic case of meiosis to call your photography a nice little hobby. Or you could wield it with petty jealousy. Maybe you're an aspiring music composer living in the shadow of your more famous rival. It wouldn't be surprising then to call their latest symphonic masterpiece a catchy little tune, but it would be meiosis. You could turn to meiosis to ease the blow of criticism. Did your dear friend add 2 whole cans of Chipotle chilies instead of 2 individual chilies to a dish? You may want to call it a raging nuclear inferno, but instead you opt for meiosis and call it a warming dish. Meiosis is also available for the grins and giggles. For example, I know somebody who regularly refers to his wife as his girlfriend. Now there may be a deeper reason for that, but it's undeniably meiotic and is almost always pretty amusing. But wait, there's more. In the actual book, written by the actual Quintillion, he points out that meiosis can also describe an overly plain writing style, one that doesn't give enough information or explanation and ends up being unclear or obscure as a result. In this case, meiosis is more of a serious fault in writing than a handy little technique, and of course this isn't what people usually think of when they hear the word meiosis, but it's still nice to know. And while we're off talking about related words and ideas, you may hear the word tapinosis pop up every now and again. And no, that's not what you do to stop a shark attack. Tapinosis is, at face value, exactly the same thing as meiosis. But as Richard Lanham has observed, tapinosis generally refers to the potentially unconscious habit of understatement that characterizes bad writing. So, meiosis is done by masters of their craft, and tapinosis is done by clueless hacks, or at least if we're taking Lanham's word for it. But now I think that really is all we have to say about the topic. If you were with us while taking a break from studying for biology, I'm glad you spent the last few minutes with us. But if you were here on purpose, I'm especially grateful for the gift of your time. As always, I hope you'll share your delightful uses of meiosis in the comments. And if you were to like or even subscribe, that would of course be an especially tolerable gesture. But that's it for now. I suppose I should get back to working on a little school project that I've been putting off for a while. So thanks for watching, and we'll meet again soon.